Hey everybody, Joy here. I know, different room. I can't take you in my other rooms because then you'll see what followed me home from the tech party. And I'm not ready to show you yet. I have to get it prepared and I have to get able to at least turn it off and on. But I thought I'd show you what trouble I got into before I went to the tech party on Saturday with Philly. We always meet like halfway between our two houses. She lives in Owasso, and which is north of Tulsa, I think, and I live south of Tulsa in Mounds, or Glenpool. It's two towns, it's crazy. It's like Mounds is a little bitty place inside Glenpool, so it depends. People look us up and they say, well, it says you're in Glenpool, not Mounds. I said, well, we are, just follow it. So we meet, usually for breakfast, at a Cracker Barrel. And it's getting so they know us there. We've been there so many times. We have this little membership thing. Oh, I'm sorry, my washer's making a racket. Let me shut the door, hold on. I tell you, when that, started to call it a sewing machine, when that washing machine starts spinning, you can hear it across the street. Actually, our repairman, who we've known for 30 years, down in Kingston at our other house, his name is Tim Reed. He came recently to fix a problem on my washing machine there. It wasn't draining, the water wasn't draining out of it. And so we were telling him about the new washer and dryer that we bought here, and we were telling him about the washer and how loud and hard it spins on the spin cycle. It has, you know, slow, medium, fast, maximum, whatever, several different speeds. And so it automatically puts itself in maximum spin. Well, I tell you, the house shakes when that thing comes on. Jerry says, well, the jet's taken off downstairs. So he told us, what brand is it? Oh, I knew you'd ask me, and I don't know. I think it's a GE. It has Wi-Fi capabilities. I have no idea why. The washer and dryer. I thought, why on earth? What am I going to do? Tell it from my other house to do a load of laundry here? It makes no sense. But anyway, I didn't buy it for that reason. Oh, good, it just stopped. He told us that that maximum spin has actually caused the washer to explode in people's laundry rooms. Explode, really. So I turn that down. I never use it on max. I always turn it down to high or medium. So just a word of warning, if your spin cycle is like that. So we meet at Cracker Barrel. We always sit in the window, and we always sit in the booth by the window. And we had the nicest waitress there. I can remember her name because she said, my name's Hannah Banana. Her name is Hannah, and she's super, super nice, great waitress. So we always go there and we enjoy our breakfast. Then right down the street, half a mile, is the Hobby Lobby. And Philly and I don't ever need anything from Hobby Lobby, but we always end up buying something there. So I went in there needing nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this is what I came home with. Now remember, this is Hobby Lobby fabric. Hobby Lobby fabric is not quality. This stuff full price was $6.99 and it was 30% off. So how cheap is that? But I like it, and I thought it looked like fall, and I thought it would go with blue jeans, and so I'm going to make myself a blouse. So I like this very much. Now, Philly and I both have had fabric from Hobby Lobby, and we've made blouses out of it, and it's actually scratchy. So, if that was the case on these, and it's not, if that was the case, I could do Peggy Sager's tip of washing them in a can of Coke. No soap, no nothing. You pour a can of Coke in there, and you turn it on and you wash it. No soap, no nothing. And it's supposed to soften denim. So I figure if it softens denim, it'll soften this if needed. I just got it out of the dryer. And then this is the other one that I thought was super cute for fall. cute. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make pajama pants. I won't make a pajama top because I want a knit. I only wear knit to bed. I don't wear cotton because it's too itchy, too scratchy. I don't like it. So I only wear knit. So I'm sure I've got some knit in this house I can make, probably orange. I bet I've got some orange knit if I didn't give it to my sister already. My sister loves orange. So picture some pants, pajama pants. Pajama pants are so fast. You want me to show you how to make pajama pants? I can't imagine that any of you watching me need instruction on how to make pajama pants, but if you do, let me know and I'll do a tutorial. Okay? You have to have elastic and you have to have thread and you have to have a sewing machine and scissors and pins. I got 5 yards of it. I thought I would make a blouse for wearing with black jeans and then I would make pajama pants. So I got, and this was $7.99, full price, 30% off of that. So it always gets me, usually Philly, but she didn't buy any fabric that day. But it usually gets me. And Philly will say, you need to get that. So then what happened? So then I said, does she need something else? Somehow we ended up at the complete other end of the store. And I don't remember why. But we walked into the 50% off fall department. Oh my goodness, and I got the prettiest. I'm usually not attracted to Hobby Lobby style dishes and stuff. Well, I shouldn't say that, I actually am. I usually don't buy them. But this time, I just could not resist. I thought they were so pretty. You want to see? They're over there on my table. So you want to come with me and see what I bought over there? I know you do. Let's go. I hope this shows up good. Now I get this from my mother. My mother loved dishes. And my mother loved cloth napkins. And she loved placemats. And when you would go to her house, she would have you go to her cabinet and pick out matching napkins and placemats. And then she had many sets of dishes. You know, none of them were super expensive, I'm sure, but she had many sets of dishes because she liked, we always ate as a family. Always, the whole time I was growing up. We ate at the table together and it was always set, placemat, napkin, knife, spoon, fork, glass, teacup, salad bowl, the whole 9 yards. That was my mom and that's how I was raised, so that's why I have this gene in me. So I got these little pumpkins, aren't they cute? I had the grapes. I found the grapes in the cupboard here and I started to throw them in the trash and I thought, oh, why don't I use them? So look at these. These are little candles and they're not real, they're flicker candles. And you have to put a battery in them. And they evidently stick to the dish you put them on. It has 2 stitches. It has 2 ways. I bet one flickers and one doesn't. What do you bet? Yeah, one side flickers and one doesn't. Oh, aren't those just so cute? Let's find the flickery kind. Yeah, there we go. So there they are. Just a little light bulb inside. You see? You're like, we all know about that, Joy. That's nothing new. Well, it's new to me. Okay, so these darling, aren't these just so pretty? So pretty. I think when the people sit down to eat, I'll have to take them off the table. They're white, for heaven's sakes. This may be a one-time use placemat. And so, you know, if you're going to have this and you're going to have that, you have to have a dish, right? So let me show you the dishes. They're super cute. Look here, I'll show you up close. Pumpkins and pumpkins. They didn't have any little plates, but how cute is that? How cute is that? So you have to put the napkin in the plate and then you put the bowl over there. And then Philly made me do this. Philly said, you're going to have to buy some glasses to go with that, Joy. So we looked and we looked and we looked and I couldn't find any. And these are super cheap, I'm sure. Philly found these. See? So I have 4 of all of it, of course. But how fun. And this was before I went to the tech party. If I had gone to the tech party first, I wouldn't have done this. And after the tech party, I said, Philly, do you think I should take all that stuff back to Hobby Lobby? Oh, but Jerry didn't care. He likes it. He always says, can you even see me? If it makes you happy, Joy. And it does. Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday. It's October something. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I think it's October 4, 2025. And I didn't straighten up my camera, so if my walls look like they're crooked or something, just ignore that. So I'm back at my other house, as you can see. I can't show you what followed me home from the tech party yet. I'm sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody to call me so I can ask them some questions, okay? And I haven't heard back from that person yet. And I'm not there. And what followed me home, I actually didn't bring it. It followed me home, it really did. A few days later. I can't show that to you, okay? But I can show you this. When I was here last, you saw me working on this sweatshirt jacket. I don't know if I love it or I hate it, but I sure have worked a lot on it. The difference this time is I brought back a whole bunch of fabric. So yesterday, when I was doing the sleeves, I had extra fabric to work with. Over here. This is a sleeve, and this is a sleeve. Now let me tell you something I didn't do, and I should have. It's going to work out okay, but if you cut a shirt apart, when you cut the sleeves off, mark. Let me show you. Let me take this sleeve apart. These aren't quilted yet. That's my next job. I'm getting ready to do that. When you cut the sleeve apart, be sure to mark which side is the front and which side is the back. According to Peggy, this isn't true, but according to most of my patterns, it is true. The back of the sleeve is usually different than the front of the sleeve. And the back of the armhole is usually different from the front of the armhole. So you need to know front and back. But fortunately, when I fold this in half, it's exactly the same front and back, both sides. So, very lucky. So see the back here, how I've cut it a little bit wider than the actual white. This is the white t-shirt sleeve. And this is one sleeve. And I'm just choosing which side of the shirt I think it looks best against the shoulder with. So this is going to be the right sleeve as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so here's the other sleeve. Oh, my pants are a little big and they're falling down. Praise the Lord for that. That's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Okay, this is the other sleeve. Now I actually like the sleeves better than I like the whole rest of it, I think. Alright, so here's the other sleeve. And you can see that I have cut it outside the white knit sleeve. Alright, so one sleeve, two sleeves. Both have to be quilted with my angular lines and my little foot gauge. And then I'll sew the sleeve, then sew it from the bottom all the way up, and all the way through the sleeve. I usually don't sew that way, but in this case that will be the easiest. Sew the sleeve on, because it's usually 1-to-1 in a knit, and then sew the whole thing up the side seam and up this seam on the sleeve. And I'll have to make sure that I even out the hems on this, because look, for some reason the back ended up longer than the front. I have no idea why. And on my body, I need it the other way around. I need more on the front than in length than I do, because you don't have boobs in the back. At least I hope you don't. Well, what they're doing to their bodies nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised. I've decided I want to be half a woman and half a man. You never know what they're going to do. You watch. You watch somebody do that nutty thing. Good gravy. All right, Lucy, we got to get busy. Say goodbye to everybody for now. So I'm taking each sleeve and I'm putting 1,000,000 pins in it. I started out pinning it from the back. Then I turned it around and I started pinning it from the front, and as I did that, I turned around and took the pins out of the back. So now that I have all the pins in the front, here's one that's still in the back. I'm going to take it out and put it in the front. But be sure, if any of you ever do this. Actually, I brought, I think, 3 sweatshirt jackets that I made in the past. I forgot a couple of them. But I'll bring them up here and show them to you after a while. How about that? I think I like all of them better than this one, but we'll see. I quilted one of them on my long arm, just myself. I didn't have a computer for a long time for my long arm machine. And so I just did everything freehand. And hey, I wasn't half bad. I look back at it now and I think, wow, I was pretty good at that. Because I don't think I could still do it. You know, without practicing and without doing it all the time, you forget, you really do. You have to have what they call muscle memory or something. So see all the pins, lots of pins. And when I get through quilting it, I will cut all of this extra off. The sides and the bottom. I will put one sleeve on top of the other sleeve, and I'll make sure they're both exactly alike. And I made sure that I had room at the bottom of the sleeve to put a hem in it. That's important. I didn't want to hem up over the point of my heart that I spent so much time making. So, all right, so I haven't done this one yet. Now this one I'm not crazy about. I don't like that white all around that star. To me, that's just going to stick out farther than anything else I did on the jacket, except it'll just be like half a star, so maybe that'll be okay. I don't know. And I placed it a funny way. I placed it with these points up instead of these points up. See, so it's on an angle. I don't know. You can second guess yourself, triple guess yourself, drive yourself crazy. But I'm going to tell you this. If I decided I just hated this and didn't want it here, I would have to fix it now before I put the quilting in. Because once it's quilted, that's it. You're done. All right, so now it has a few pins on the back. A few. And remember, this is a t-shirt, not a sweatshirt. Remember, it stretches. So you have to be careful to keep it flat and unstretched. You don't want to pull it and have it stretched out of shape. I mean, look how far it can stretch. So you just want to keep patting it down and making sure it's not stretched out anywhere. Now I'm going to turn it over and start pinning it from the front. I'm thinking maybe I could put a little heart. Oh, I've already got a heart there. I wonder what I could put in here to kind of take away from that black and white. I don't know. Just leave it, Joy. People will come up and say, I just love that black and white star. It happens to me all the time. Things that I think look awful, clothes that I make myself, and I swear I'll never wear them, and I get it out of my closet and I think, oh, I really should wear that. I get so many compliments on it. And I'll think, well, I'm going to go home and look in the mirror again. You need a lot of pins. So get your rooster out. This is Rose. Now in my other house, I have a rooster just like her. And her name's Dot, because she's covered with polka dots. This one has a little bit of dots, but this one's got roses, so I call her Rose. Philly made a rooster when I made a rooster. And I don't remember what she named her rooster. She'll have to tell me. But we have to give things names, you know. She named her car. She told me her car's name is Lilith the other day. She said, did you know our car's name is Lilith? I'm like, no, I really didn't know that, Philly. I have not named my car yet. My car is 12 years old, and it is just perfect condition. Perfect. It spends a lot of time down here in the garage. So it's only got, I think it's got 60,000 miles on it, but it's just, there's nothing wrong with it. And you know, you can buy a brand new car and there'll be all kinds of things wrong with it. So as long as it runs, that's going to be what I drive. It's a 2014 Explorer. And I'll guarantee you, it costs way less than they cost now. Oh my goodness, everything's so expensive. See, I'm just putting pins everywhere. And then I'll turn it over and I'll look and see if anything got crumpled up, bent, twisted, stretched. Because you're working with the knit. I really like this heart. That's pretty. But I wish that I had put a different color around this black star. Then I would like it a lot better. I wonder how hard it would be. It would be real hard to take that apart. So every time you see me in this jacket, don't tell me about my black star and how it should have been a different color, because then I'll cry. All right. Not so much the star, but the white around it. I don't know if there's any more white. Yeah, there is. There's a little, one other place I put some white in this. See, just pin, pin, pin everywhere. This is what you have to do if you're making a quilt, and you are making a quilt. I need more down here in the middle. With my little baby star. See my little baby star? Yeah. Just pin, 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 because when you sew, things move. Now I have the even feed foot on one of my machines, but that's not the machine I'm going to use for this. So I don't have an even feed. You could use a walking foot, but when I did the front and the back of the jacket, came out really good without that. Alright, that's a whole bunch of pins. And you just leave them in, and if you come up to one while you're sewing, you take it out before you sew over it. See? That's what you do. Now, how do I know where I'm going to sew? Okay. There's one on the back. Here's another one on the back, another one on the back. Get the ones off the back. Why? Because you can't remove them when you're sewing. They'll be on the bottom and you'd have to lift the presser foot, take it out from underneath the presser foot, try to get that pin out. It would be very, very frustrating. I don't know that it would be very, very hard, but you know, the more you can sew without rethreading or changing your needle or anything like that. Okay, there we go. So see how many pins? Lots and lots of pins. Yes. And I'm seeing it needs another one down here even. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sleeves together. The sleeves together. And I'm going to quilt them opposite of each other. What's under here? I'm going to quilt them opposite. So if I'm going to quilt this one going this way, I'm going to quilt this one going this way. Does that make sense? And I'm going to go look. Now, did I mark what's the front and what's the back? I didn't. But I know one goes on the right and one goes on the left. Let me see. This one goes on the right. So this is the front of this one. So I'm going to check the angle. Alright, so the angle of that goes that way. So I want the angle of this to go this way. So it needs to go toward the front, down. It needs to go down. Down. It needs to come this way, down. Down, 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 down. And this one's got to come down, 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 down. And then this is the front, and this is the front. And this is the back, and this is the back. Oh yes, heat erasable friction markers. Alright, so front, front, back, back. So where am I going to start from and where am I going to end? I want it to be the longest distance I can sew. And so I would say the longest distance that I can sew is from here all the way down to here. Yeah. Can you see? From here all the way down to here would be the longest distance I can sew. And then go, 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 go. And then this one from the corner all the way down to this corner is the longest distance I can sew. So I'm going to go get a longer ruler and I'm going to make my first mark. Hold on. While I was at the tech party, I picked up more rulers, Quilter Select. See? So I'm going to sew from there all the way down to here. And all you have to mark is your first line. So I probably want to look underneath and see, yeah, that's okay. Make sure you're going to catch the corner of your jacket. That one's up there. Yeah. All right. So this one's going to go, and of course I'm on top of all those pins, but that's all right. So I'm going to mark it. That's going to go really funky through that star. The first one I went through the angle of the star. See, the angle of this star goes this way. But this star, there is a star here, but I don't know that its angle is going to go the same angle as that goes. If I did it on the angle of the star, it would be like that. That would be pretty. Except they don't really line up because of my bad piecing. I'm such a bad piecer. Okay, so over here, and I'm going to mark the tip of the t-shirt, which is right there. That's okay. And the bottom of the t-shirt, which is right here. And this one just happened to line up right, so I didn't have to mark. Oh wait, no it didn't, because right up there's the tip of the t-shirt. Tip of the t-shirt. You can feel it. That's the tip of the shirt. You want it on the tip of the shirt because the side of this is going to get cut off, right? So I'm going to trace the shirt under there. That's the shirt under there. So that's the tip. Yeah, so I ought to redraw that line. So what am I going to do about that line? I'm going to go iron it and get it off of there. And I'm going to go get a different color of friction pen. So I'm going to start at the corner of the jacket. And that's okay there. It's just a hair off. A hair off. Do you have to quilt them both the same? Well, of course not. Just if you're me. And nobody's me but me. You know, that's a good thing. Let me see, where's the corner of this one? This one's kind of missing its corner a little bit. It got cut funky. Alright, so that's the corner of this one. Hello. Okay, so there's the first stitch. Hold your, this is on top of a bunch of pins, so not that easy to do, you know. Hold it down over your pins, or do whatever you want to do. You know, take out some pins. So, 1 inch apart, and I'll just keep sewing them the whole way, the whole way, the whole way. And then when this joins up to the front, the stripes on the sleeve will go down like the stripes on the top. So they'll both go down. I guess that makes sense. And maybe they won't. We'll see. Just so you get it quilted. That's the main thing, all right? There's my 2 sleeves. I'm going to take them to my machine. I'm going to quilt them. And then I'm going to sew them on. And then I'll be so excited that I got this thing done. Lots of pins. You can't put too many pins. They come out easy. And it beats basting it. Sharon Chamber would baste it. I'm not Sharon Chamber. I don't know whatever happened to her. Boy, you talk about a quilter. Woo! That woman quilt. Any of you know Sharon Chamber? I took a class of hers when I very first got my long arm. And she walked in there and I just thought, oh my goodness, that poor lady. She was a mess. Her hair wasn't fixed. She just looked messy. She looked unhappy. I thought, oh, that poor lady. And then I went and saw her quilts out where all the quilts were hung. She, kind of like Edith Sitar, used to make wedding gowns. And so she knew all of these extra things you could do, you know, to make something beautiful, and she would do it to her quilts. But oh my goodness, oh, gorgeous, gorgeous things. Okay, gonna go do this, and then I'll be back. Well, good afternoon. Look at here. I know. This is how far I've gotten. And I tell you, I came so close to throwing this away several times. I'm thinking, this is going to be so ugly. So ugly. I've changed things. I sewed, I unsewed, I put things down, I took them off and put something different, and over and over and over. So I thought, this is just going to look awful. And I thought, you know, where do you wear something like this anyway? But then yesterday, Jerry wanted me to go with him to Sherman, to a place to buy something that goes in his bulldozer, transmission fluid or something like that. And it's far, it's an hour drive down there. So I took my iPad, and when I opened up my iPad to see what or who I could watch, Becky was doing a live at the Houston Quilt Festival. Right now, it's the week when all of the companies go, you know, to order for their next year. I couldn't go, you probably couldn't go, just normal people can't go. You have to own a company or something, okay? You understand what I mean? But she can go as a news lady, I guess. So she was going around and around to all the different people, and I cannot tell you how many of them had quilted jackets. I was amazed. Really amazed. I've seen quilted jackets there before, but maybe one company would do one. And they were saying that they are very, very in right now. So when I put this on, after finally getting all of the diagonal stitching lines in it, I thought, well, go ahead and sew it together and go ahead and try it on. I was shocked that I actually really like it. If you think it's horrible, please don't tell me because it was a lot of work. So I'll tell you what I'm up to now. Number one, it could have been a little bit bigger. I made an extra large out of a t-shirt from BELK, long sleeve t-shirt from BELK, and I bought it extra large. So that's 2 sizes bigger than I wear, so it should have been plenty big. But the sleeves, even though they're plenty big for me, without a sleeve on, if I had to put a sleeve inside of it, I would want them to be bigger. So I guess I should have gotten a 2XL. I don't know. But I think it is super cute. I had to have sideburns measure me because, of course, without the full bust adjustment and without the round back, it came up much shorter in the front than in the back. So we fixed that. So now we're even all the way around. Okay, so what now? What now is I have to bind it all around. You have to do the arms, the holes down here, whatever you call those things. And you finish it with the binding. I did not have enough of any fabric to cut a binding. So I decided to use what I had. So I just cut a little bit of everything and made a binding strip out of it. So it turns out I actually like the short pieces better than the long pieces. But I'm not going to change that. It's just that, like when I'm doing the front, I want to make it so there's not just 2 pieces here. So I'll find a place that has a short piece, like here, see? And then I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces of binding, 3 prints, okay? Let's say 3 prints to do the binding with. So that's what I've got to do right now. And once I get this binding on there, this will be in my closet with my other 3 jackets. I told you I'd show you my other 3 jackets, but they aren't up here yet. So we gotta wait for that. But would I advise you to make one of these? Yes and no. Yes, if you want to start out with a pattern, a real jacket pattern, a real top t-shirt pattern that you know is going to fit you right, okay? If I start over and do this again, I will have a pattern that has an FBA in it and that has a round back in it. And that way it will come together in the middle and it won't end up all crazy in the back and the front. So that's what I would do. What kind of fabric? Get a real pattern and use just a t-shirt knit. Now the knit is a little difficult in that it's super stretchy, but if you put like 1,005 pins in it, don't just put 1,000, that's not enough. One of the sleeves I actually went and sprayed with KK 2000, I think that's what it's called, because that net just wanted to keep moving, and it was bugging me. So I'm going to go in the other room and I'm going to spray this with starch, fold it in half and press it, and then I'm going to put it on all the way around. I wonder if I should put it on from the back and roll it to the front. Do I want to do that? No, because then there would be a stitching line on it. So I'll do it like a quilt and I'll just do it on the front, turn it around to the back. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I better get going. Trying on my new jacket. What do you think? What do you think? I have to tell you, first of all, I have been informed that some lady tried to watch me, and she watched me as I kept trying to act, and she said, "You are a horrible actress and I am not watching you anymore." So I have no idea what she's talking about. I'm not trying to act. This is just me, y'all. So here's my new jacket. And I have some things to say about it. You want to know what I have to say about it? For one thing, I love it. I just love it. So nice. So let me give you some tips about making a quilted jacket. And if you want to know more about how to make a quilted jacket, search quilted jacket on YouTube. There's dozens of videos. Some of the people have made a dozen coats. Full length coats. Yeah. Hold on, let me shut my phone off real quick. Okay, what do you need to know? Thing number one. When you use a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or a knit of any kind as the inside of your jacket, it does not want to go on over another knit garment. I had it on yesterday before I had it completely done, and I just had one of my many t-shirts on, and I could not get that t-shirt underneath it to quit moving around. It kept coming up into my neck, the sleeves kept riding up, horribly uncomfortable. Did not like it, thought, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to wear this jacket. So this morning I wanted to show it to you, plus my other two. I told you I had 3 others. I only have 2 others. I have 3 total to show you, okay? So this morning I was in my closet and I thought, well, I need to wear something with no sleeves and then the jackets will go on easier. So I started off with a sleeveless knit top that I made years ago. I didn't like it either. It's still knit. It still clings. It still moved all over my shoulders. So I took that off and I found this sleeveless woven garment I made years ago. I love this top. So no sleeves and it's a woven and the jacket rests on it. The top I have on underneath rests on my shoulders. When I move the jacket, the top underneath stays put. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is I made this, and I probably told you this already, I made this in XL. I wish I had made it a 2XL. It needs to have bigger armholes and much bigger sleeves. And it doesn't come totally together in center front. That's okay because I wouldn't wear it together anyway, so I don't have a problem with that. And it fits fine in the back. So I think I told you in the last clip, if I do it again, I will start out with an actual pattern for a jacket. Very simple. Side, front, no, let me see. Left front, right front, a back, and a sleeve. But it'll have the round back in it. It'll have the FBA in it. Drop to the bottom. I won't sew a dart into it, but it'll have it. And the sleeves will be, these came out perfect on the length. So sleeves will be bigger, and I'll make sure that it's able to go over a top really comfortably, because it's more like, you know, a little coat, and you can make it longer. You could make a whole coat out of it. So at first I hated it. Now I love it. It's got binding at the bottom of the sleeves, binding all the way around the hem. Oh, I want to go somewhere because it's so cute. One other tip. The jacket that I made, that I showed you, the one with all the quilty ladies on it, the inside of it is cloth. It's a woven. So that jacket goes on very easily over a knit. So if you put 3 layers instead of just 2, and I just ran up the stairs, I'm not acting. I'm just out of breath from running up the stairs. So if you make the inside of the jacket, and I will from now on, make the inside of the jacket a 3rd layer and make it cloth or woven. And then the jacket will go on over any shirt. All right? I've decided that it would be a good idea to label what I make and what pattern I used to make it with. I remember I made this with my friend Deb. Deb lives in Ozark, Missouri, and she and her husband were here one time, and she and I both made a jacket like this. Hers came out absolutely gorgeous. Somewhere there's a video. If I can find that video, I'll link it below, or I'll put it here, or however y'all do that, or however I all do that. Hers came out beautiful. She put decorative stitching on hers, and it was just gorgeous. Now I can't remember the pattern. I'll try to find out what pattern it was, and I'll put it down in the description box, okay? Always look in the description box. Now this one has a wide band around the front and the neck. Really nice. And it's a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Probably a sweatshirt. And this one, you just use 2 fabrics. See, there's one fabric for the trim all the way around and the collar, and then there's another fabric. And then you leave spaces in between. So much easier than the one I just showed you. And this one started out with a much bigger sweatshirt, evidently. Oh, yes. I love it too. See the arms, how much bigger they are? Much bigger. Bigger, bigger. And it does reach me in the middle down here. So, this is another way to do a quilted jacket. I think this one's gorgeous. It's got a batik on it. I bought this batik in Missouri when I was with Deb. I visited her and then she visited me. And there's lots of fabric stores up there. Oh, I love this pattern. I got to figure out which pattern this was. Since I want to know, I'll tell you. Oh my goodness, very nice. Let me get the next one. This is the first one that I did. This one's heavy. Whatever I used to make this one, oh, I see why. This one is 3 layers. So this one has the sweatshirt inside. See, you can see the sweatshirt right there. It has the sweatshirt inside. It has the fabric, the quilting things on the front, and then it has another whole lining inside. I actually made this one on my long arm. Somehow I was able to lay it out flat. Probably laid the sleeves out separate and the back out separate and the two fronts out separate. And I've worn this several times and I've never ever had a compliment on it. And I think it's super cute. And I think the quilting on it is cute. But you know, it's nice when you make something and you really like it. This one actually snaps. See the 3 snaps? And I'll show you up close. This was a panel. And I was actually going to some big quilt show somewhere in Dallas. I don't remember what one it was. With Philly, probably. And so I wanted to make a jacket to go. And I had this panel. See, these things came from a panel. This is me in my sewing original quilting. But the squares are from a panel. And see back here, the ladies and the ladies. I think this is so much fun. But you know, no ordinary person is going to care, you know, what this says or what it shows. I sewed this by hand on my long arm, no computer. And here it says, born to quilt. But I did it in this variegated light colored thread, so you can't really see it very good. Let me see, what else did I do? The 2 sleeves are just more panel. All of the ladies standing there showing their quilts. I think this is so cute. Oh, and it fits me. It fits me. I made the sewing machine. I quilted all the hearts by hand. And by hand with my long arm machine. So let's put this one on. Love the lime green inside. I just ordered some lime green knit yesterday from Fabric Mart Fabrics. I had a cash back thing with them, so I was forced to buy fabric. Oh, this is super cute too. Look how big the sleeves are on this. I don't know how I got these right and that other one seems too small. I wouldn't think that I bought over an extra large on this. But see how the bottom is curved. This started out to be some pattern. And again, this does not have, look at this, y'all. This is awesome. This has no shoulder seam. The only seam is here. So it laid out like a giant butterfly is what it did. Because it's the sleeves cut out with it. Oh my gosh, that would be so easy. Oh yeah, do it like that. And see, I was skinnier then, but I still can snap it. Oh my goodness. You know, there are some things I've made in my life that I actually like. Oh, how about that? Oh, so nice. So you shouldn't talk about your own stuff. You're trying to act. I have lots of things I don't like at all, you guys. Okay, that's the end of the quilted jacket tutorial. Did I give you all the tips? Oh, need to tell you, my daughter. Do you remember years ago? I don't remember what year it was. Do you remember years ago I fell? My 2 dogs, I had one leashed around my waist and the other one I didn't have on a leash because they never left each other. And stupid me, I'd never done it before, but they were big dogs. They're 75, 100 pound dogs, golden doodles, black ones. And I loved them dearly. So I decided I was going to take them up to the mailbox. Our mailbox is a block up a rock road, up a pretty steep hill. And so I thought, well, I could hold the dog better around my waist than holding him with my hand if he tried to run away. So the next thing I knew, I started this walk with these 2 dogs. Next thing I knew, I was waking up, I was down on the ground, I was in the rocks, and there was blood on the rocks, and there was blood all over the front of me, and the dog was still attached to my waist. So I undid my waist, let the dog run away, and get a big gash up here in my face from where I fell on the rocks. So 2 dogs gone by the next day. Just happened to my daughter. My daughter is where those 2 dogs came from. My daughter has a kennel, and that's where those 2 dogs came from. She gave them to us. She loves dogs. Well, the same thing just happened to her. She took a bad fall yesterday. Bad fall. and she's absolutely shattered her elbow. She said part of her elbow isn't even there. It's disconnected from the rest of her elbow. Oh my goodness, bless her heart. And she fell and she scraped her face real bad, you know, like when you scrape it across the street, like your face is on the street. Remember when you used to fall on your bike and you'd get those awful scratchy, rashy skin things? She has that on her face. She hurt her knee. And she's supposed to be in New York City for a huge quilt show in a week or two. And it's a 3-day drive just to get up there to it. She's got to dye the yarn. She can't dye yarn because of her arm. Oh, it's just devastating for her. So bless her heart, I just heard from her a while ago. So she's getting rid of her dogs. That was the one thing I was worried about, is when I get old and decrepit and she's gonna live in this house and take care of me. I said, she's gonna have all these dogs everywhere. Well, we're past that, thank goodness. Although I hate that she had to experience that. Bless her heart. So she's going to a specialist today. She went to an ER and the ER was just horrible, absolutely horrible. ERs are something else these days. And ended up having to leave the ER and go to a different hospital. It was so bad. But she's going to a specialist today, so she's going to call me later and let me know what's going on with that. So I said, I would do something, but I don't know what I could do for you. I can't dye yarn. Maybe I'm going to have to learn. We shall see. But I'm going to let you go for now. I need to keep up with my daughter and talk to her after a while. And I need to make some new tops that are woven and sleeveless to wear with my 3 jackets. So I got to get busy. Bye for now. I'll be back soon.